Last week at California, we had just an awful start. But we bounced back, we pitted, benefited from a caution during pit stops, and then in the second half of the run, we just held on. I think we were destined to win that. The only thing standing in our way in the second half of the race was another round of pit stops that we were able to get through. Came out behind Gordon and Earnhardt, and I wish I had replay footage of this, but I'm not a smart man, and I deleted the replay file, so you're only seeing gameplay footage. It's not going to happen again. Then we had a caution at the end of the race that scared us, but thankfully we were able to take the checkers under caution and get our third win of the season. Looking at the points, though, it doesn't look like we won. We're barely catching Gordon. We only gained 7 points on him. We talked about all these at the end of the California race, so nothing's changed here. All these names and points might get put into a blender here at Daytona. Something that's not going to get put into a blender are the cars. We're doing a non-damage race independent of our season. We tried the Daytona 500 with full damage, Talladega with moderate damage, and in both cases we had slow cars ruining the race. So we're trying what's behind door number 3. Front row Joe on the pole.
ESPN Speed World welcomes you live to Daytona International Speedway and today's running of the Pepsi 400 NASCAR Winston Cup race. We'll reach the halfway point of the season at the end of today's event. The engines have just fired, and good morning, everybody. I'm Bob Jenkins along with Benny Parsons, and it's time to go racing. Now, it's expected to be a little bit cooler here today. There is a bit of a cloud cover, only about 95.
Yeah, right, only about 95 degrees. Folks, you can't believe how hot it gets inside these race cars, and what these drivers go through today, it's almost unbearable.
We have onboard cameras throughout the field, including one riding with Ricky Craven in the Budweiser car.
Also, we ride along with Robbie Gordon, of course, Light Chevrolet, and Mark Martin of Valvoline Ford. There's Bill Elliott, McDonald's car. There's Rick Mast, the Remington Ford. Great qualifying start, great qualifying run.
And finally, Rusty Wallace has our final onboard camera as he has a great start for this 400-mile race, as traditional as firecrackers on 4th of July weekend. And we're just about set to go as the field is over between turns 3 and 4. All right, the pace car pulls off. A full crowd here at Daytona International Speedway. We welcome you. Sit back, relax, have a great 4th of July weekend as the Pepsi 400 gets underway.
All right, here we go. We just, knowing that there's no damage, we just have to not treat this race differently. You know? I mean, not take any wild risks. Well, we can still take risks, just not be reckless, you know? Knowing that there isn't going to be damage anyway, just a caution comes out and we're fine. We don't want that. I said 10 seconds ago not to be reckless. Man, we're not going 3 wide. We are guaranteed to have a caution in the first half of this race. In watching some of the videos and just something I noticed, I picked up on through our season, this random caution thing that we use, which I explained a little bit in the first couple laps of the Trans-South Financial Darlington race in this season. You put in the number of minutes that the race is going to take, not how many laps there are, and then you tell the program, yeah, I want 100% caution in those minutes, so caution's going to come out sometime. And I know the average time it takes to do these half-length races are about 80 minutes, 85 minutes. So I'll usually just put 80 minutes in there flat and hit randomize, and then off we go. But there's a button that lets you see exactly when there's like a checkbox that you can uncheck, and it lets you see when the caution will come out. And when I had it at 80, I unchecked the box, and it's every time you hit randomize or calculate or whatever, the numbers are the same, like 58, 40, 36. No matter how many times you do it, those numbers will stay the same at that 80-minute number. Which I didn't realize that's what was happening. So I've set this race, they basically think this race is 40 minutes long, which means we're going to get a caution in the first half of this race. Took a long walk to get there, but that's where we're at. I do believe this was the final day race, July Daytona race. This was the Pepsi 400 back then. It's the Coke Zero. It's been the Coke Zero 400, Firecracker, everything. 1998, I'm pretty sure, is when they went under the lights. And that fall race was actually on TNN, quote unquote fall, because I think there were forest fires or something going on in Florida where they couldn't hold the race in July. I forget. And then just through some quirk in the broadcast schedule, TNN broadcast it. Or maybe they had planned to all along. I don't know. And then speaking of 1998, but not really, I'm pretty certain I'm going to be running a year 2000 season after this one. The main thing is we're in the late 90s. We have these broadcast packages, and then by the year 2000, nearly all of these networks changed their packages drastically. Except for TBS. Theirs were pretty much the same. So I want to get all the late 90s broadcasts under our belt before we move into the 2000s, because you can foresee what's coming down the road here with these videos. Is I don't know if we're running every season, but just running seasons with every different broadcast package that we can find. It'll be fun. But yeah, 2000, the weird thing about 2000 is the penultimate race of that season was at Homestead, and NBC actually carried it. And of course 2000 was the final season before Fox and NBC just took over all the broadcast rights. And just like that, on autopilot, we get out to the lead here. Not a lot of Winston Cup signage here. You see them on the towers right there. I changed them to Winston. There's a sign on Pit Road right there, which I think we're pitting nearby, coincidentally. And then at the end of the backstretch, on the outside of the track, there's a red camera blind for TV cameras right by that 76 ball right there that has a Winston Cup logo on it. Yeah, I wasn't expecting to win at California. That's why I was trying to get away with just throwing a red looking square behind the signage, but then once we saw that grass up close, it looks pretty bad. And I saw it in my sleep the other night, so we got to change it. And it's really not a matter of not knowing how to do it. It was just laziness on my part. I was excited that I figured out how to get the images into the game, and then I just didn't want to roll my sleeves up and really get into it, because it's a meticulous process, but it's not really. But it was enough in my head that I was like, yeah, we're not going to be close enough to it. It doesn't really matter. But it does matter. So we're going to have everything looking good. Hopefully I remember to throw up what that camera blind looks like this race as I've shifted into meticulous mode with those things. Yeah, 2000, we'll see. We'll have Earnhardt Jr., we'll have Tony Stewart. That'll be good. I just have to find, I think it's actually Earnhardt Jr.'s 2000 Texas win. There's a really good quality version of it online that NASCAR put up. That's where I'm going to have to take all the headshots from. Oh, no. I thought for a second I had forgotten to change Ward Burton's car from his Anaheim Mighty Ducks car from California, but nope. Yeah, we're not going to be putting up running orders this race. Everything changes so much. And maybe, if anything, I'll show the packs from pit road or something, if it gets to that point. But things are just thrown into a hat every lap and mixed up, and you just pick what car is going to be in what spot. I don't know if you've noticed too, I was messing around with stuff before this race, and my mirror detail wasn't at full detail. There's 3 settings: minimal detail, full detail, and off, like you don't even have a mirror. And I had been running minimal detail all season up to this point. So you look in the back, we're going to be able to see that 76 ball probably right there. We weren't seeing that before. We wouldn't even be seeing the fence in the background. Maybe the stands? I don't know. I'm not reaching up to the M key on my keyboard to check during a race, but what a mistake. Obviously hasn't taken anyone out of it. And that's just something I was used to over the years, being on older computers and trying to bring the frame rate up to a playable number. I got used to sacrificing some graphical bells and whistles. Yeah, this is good. I'm not sure if we want to race in a 43 car pack for the entire race, but if it happens, it happens. Hopefully things get split up under caution, or under green flag pit stops. But we're not going to have slow cars breaking up the pack. But it's an acceptable trade-off. I'm not looking forward to, this is on ESPN, I'm not looking forward to putting the little yellow markers beside all of the cars that lead a lap in the results, because there's going to be a lot. Yeah, just like we saw at Talladega. Well, not really. I don't remember talking about it there, but I mean, this is, you know, we're just falling in line now. Even though we're leading the line, we're basically just hanging out for the next 40 laps, and then it's going to get interesting. Cautions are on, obviously, and double file restarts are on. I didn't have them on. I forgot to check that box during the Talladega race, but we're good to go here. Oh, there's the gate. So I want to find a dependable way to do that. To where I don't have to know that it's coming in the first half of the race. Then again, I just totally forget. I totally forget that a caution's going to come out sometimes, even though I'm talking about it. We are pitting here. We're taking on 2 left sides and fuel.
Changing just the left side this time. Left sides only.
No damage.
Pit road is now
Oh yeah, I was trying to remember where we pit.
in second. The pace cars in the tri-oval. Watch that speed now. Keep it on 4,000.
Got a new
You are on the point.
Got a new pit road sign there.
1.5 cans of fuel. The pace cars exiting the tri-oval.
Good thing is,
Go, go, go! Limit 55. Keep it under 4,000.
Oh.
Second.
that would have ended our race.
The pace cars in turn 1.
Oh, we're screwing up here. Thanks, Mike Skinner.
So the first caution is out in the Pepsi 400.
Next generation next. Generation next.
ESPN's coverage of the Pepsi 400 from Daytona International Speedway being brought to you by Pepsi. This year, drink a lot of Pepsi. Get the coolest stuff ever. By the more than 1,600 AutoZone stores across America. AutoZone, the best parts in auto parts. And by the all-new wide-track Pontiac Grand Prix. Wider is better.
Green, green, green.
There's a car on pit road up there, though.
Car outside. Keep low.
Poor Dale Jarrett.
Keep low. Stay low.
I don't know what's going on with the Yates guys, because I even went in and fixed their numbers a little bit.
Clear.
I was sightseeing to see who was on pit road, and we didn't even take the green flag for the restart. We're fine. We'll catch up. But yeah, this might be the worst luck possible for Dale Jarrett this season. He's had some bad wrecks. He hasn't had fun at the restrictor plate tracks. Daytona, he got into a wreck with Greg Sachs. DNF'd at Talladega with the Bill Elliott crash. He had the Michigan crash. Had a DNF at Rockingham. Had something weird happen at the end of Darlington. And I think I'm still missing one or two. Yellow, what is this? Alright, so it's an actual debris caution. Interesting. Alright, here's pit road under the caution. Watch Ricky Rudd. Bang. Right into him. And he flickers there. So something happened. I don't know what happened. Damage is off. Ricky Rudd gets away like a bandit. I don't know. Finally going back green here. We took an extra caution lap. I don't know why. Dale Jarrett is 2 laps down now. Here's how the field looks like on this restart. Ward Burton out in front. Nemechek still hanging out up there.
Get ready now. Going green.
The big thing, though, is you haven't seen some big names yet. They're all at the back. Gordon, Earnhardt, Rudd, Martin, Bill Elliott, Bobby Labonte. They're all back there. All right, we have 53 to go. We can go 33 laps. So around lap 20-ish, we're going to see pit stops, which are probably just going to be splash and go. But we're probably going to be in this steel cage match for the rest of the race with the AI running in like a 43 car pack. Doesn't seem like Dale Jarrett's holding up the show too much here. Seems like his car's going to be up to speed. Yeah, I don't get why our first race that we don't have damage on, we have an actual debris caution. I don't get it. But whatever. In this day and age, people are looking for anything to just roast something, and if something isn't 100% perfect, then it's not good enough, and they have to find something better. You gotta take this, whatever little shortcomings this game has are meaningless compared to the overall experience. There's nothing in this game at all that breaks the game. Sorry if I have some sniffles coming through or I sound stuffed up sometimes. It's May. So, it's allergy season. As I'm getting older, it seems like allergy season is year-round now. I don't know. But yeah, I was really upset there for a while, thinking Dale Jarrett was going to be slow the rest of the race for some reason, and just ruin all of our plans of a nice, clean race. But it seems like we won't have to deal with it. I didn't think Lake Speed was going to pull up for us there. Boy, this would be really nice. Getting a really good finish here. And having Gordon and Martin get bad ones. Because we're not even... the end of this race is the halfway mark of the season. In the playoffs, yeah, that's something fun that we're doing. But my main goal is winning the overall points race. Yeah, let me know in the comments if you think we should change anything about the playoff point system. Because as it stands, we have the leader, the winner of the quote-unquote regular season, the first 24 races gets a 20-point bonus. He's the only he's the only driver that'll get a bonus for the playoffs. Should that be more? Should that be more than 20? That was just a random number it came up with and went with it. I don't know. Alright, we're going to break up the monotony a little bit. We're going to head back into the pack. Run the cockpit view. See what happens. I think we're going to be fine. I don't even like running 3 wide in the other view. Nobody's dropped off the pack. With Dale Jarrett a lap down, but still in tow, we have 43 cars in this pack. Yeah, the cockpit view ain't too bad, huh? John Andretti in the rear view up there. He dominated this real world race in 1997. on PS3s, or yeah, PS4s and video games, and I don't know, I just like I would get dizzy sometimes running Cockpit on those games. I could never really figure out why. I just knew I did, so I just got used to running the hood roof cam. And I think there's a way to go into the settings and change your field of view, and I think there's some hacks too that people come up with to make it even better. So you're a little bit further away from the dash. We're not worried about that right now. Pit stop should be coming in about 10 laps. Held my breath there. Hoping we weren't gonna get clipped by Hutch Strickland. We're not used to this camera, so we're not gonna be pitting with this. I don't know, I gotta reach up and change it. Oh, it seems like you, as a viewer, you get to see more here. And, I will say, you know, when we're behind Andretti there, for example, we can't see a slow car coming up. The AI is computing that. It's not like they have eyes and they see stuff. They're computing what's going on. We don't have that. I mean, we're at a disadvantage there. But whatever. And the main thing is, when drivers are in, you know, in tight quarters racing like this at a restrictor plate track, they work together. They put their hands up when they're slowing down. They put their hands up when they're pitting. They have their arms up. They have their right arm up, and then they'll bring it down on a restart. So everyone knows to get into the throttle and get going. We don't have any of that with these computer people. Everyone's still in a pack here. We're seeing pit stops, folks. The pack behind us got split up. You can see them. And some kind of weird move here. Uh-oh. A wreck on the back straight. So what the heck? We're not even going to get some frantic pit stops here. It's the way she goes. I'm guessing it's going to have something to do with this pack. Yeah, they got slowed up. I mentioned that the packs got split up. And they're 4 wide already. And they said it happened on the backstretch. I don't know what... Something's going to give here. There it is. Oh, come on. Gordon. We could have had Gordon. We could have had Gordon with damage this race. We're not complaining about our luck. We've had good luck, but man. All right, we're turning our tires off.
No tires this time, guys.
No tires, just fuel. No tires, just fuel.
Pit road is now open.
Let's catch up here and then
55.
slow down.
Under 4,000 in seconds. Past the 88 car, the pace cars in the tri-oval. The pace cars exiting the tri-oval. You're in the top 10.
Tell us to go, and we're gonna go.
Go, go, go! Keep it under 50.
We're going.
Keep it under 4,000 in seconds. The pace cars in turn 1. Watch that speed now. Keep it on 4,000 in seconds. Okay, you're clear of pit lane. Stay behind the 23 car.
It'll be 21 to go when we get the green here. Here's what the running order is. In the bottom right. Dave Marcus, I don't know. I don't get it. Oh, he's 7th. If he just, I guess he just didn't pit there. So that's something to keep in mind if he's going to have to pit later. And the big news is Jeff Gordon back in 32nd. But, I mean, it didn't take him that long in our last run to get from the back to the front, so we're gonna be seeing him at the end of the race here. Kenny Wallace in the lead.
Green, green, green.
Is Dave Marcus okay?
Car outside.
I don't think he is.
Bottom, 3 wide. Car outside.
I think Dave Marcus is off the pace. So there's a couple of these guys. What?
You're in the middle. 3 wide. Inside.
Okay.
Inside. Stay high. Clear.
I think some guys got confused and ran out of fuel. Oh, please catch up to... Come on. Come on, Joe. Oh, please let us catch up to these guys.
The yellow flag is out.
Nope.
Let's go. Race back to the line. We got trouble in the pit.
I think a lot of cars are just running out of gas here.
Pit road is closed. Car outside. Still there.
That was just a weird pit window,
Okay, we're
and the
underway.
game got confused.
Into the pacing line. Stay behind the 10 car. All right, we're back in 5th. 20 laps to go.
That was our golden ticket, though. Have that field spread out, and then we would have been in that front pack, but it just didn't happen. As for the caution, it was Dave Marcus trying to get off the track here. Nothing wild. And now we have other cars pitting too, so hopefully this doesn't mess up the race when we worked so hard to make sure this race didn't get messed up by weird stuff. That logo on Rudd's car looks like hockey sticks behind the car, but those are obviously the poles for the flags. Nothing to do here during cautions. We're going to be getting the green with a 16 to go now. And there's the running order. We're sitting pretty. Jeff Gordon 15th. Kenny Wallace is to the left of us right now. Somehow went a lap down. And hopefully I remember to put it up. I wonder how close Dale Jarrett was to getting his lap back on those cautions. Because... or the one caution, or whatever just happened. These caution laps are like 20 minutes long.
Get ready now.
But that would have been wild if he would have gotten another lap back and swung around to the back of the pack and could contend for the win.
Green, green, green. That car's a lap down.
He did that at
That car's a lap down.
the Brickyard one year in the late 90s. Early on in the race, he was about 4 laps down, and then slowly throughout the race, he wiggled his way back up onto the lead lap. Every caution, he'd gain back a lap. And he was obviously the class of the field that race. It was crazy. He kept on getting his lap back because he was basically leading the race the whole time. I can't remember what ended up happening in that race, actually. Not pretty sure he didn't win, but he might have, and that's why I remember it so well. I don't know. All right, 15 to go here. Let's see if we got any slowness back there. Look out. We're going to watch the bottom of the pack here and see if anyone falls off. Which I don't think they will. I think the AI got everything out of their system with the fuel window. So we're good to go.
Those are your top 5 in the Pepsi 400 from Daytona. We'll be right back.
Removes redness and has an ingredient to moisturize. Wow. The difference is clear. Clear eyes.
Overhead shots are courtesy of the Pennzoil Copter Cam, flying high overhead Daytona International Speedway for our coverage today of the Pepsi 400 on a very warm morning and early afternoon.
If they're going to beat us, they're going to beat us on the top line. 13 to go, we're not moving. Probably not a wise move by Andretti. I would have just hung out beside me for the next 12 laps and then won on the outside. But now he's going to eventually get freight trained and head to the back. Yeah, poor Kenny Wallace. However, he ended up going a lap down when he obviously has a really nice car here. Finished top 5 at Talladega. And I had thought he had finished top 5-ish at Daytona, but he was actually a lap down in that final push when we were racing with him. We might not get the nail-biting finish we did at Talladega. But we gotta figure out. We gotta figure out their weaknesses here if we want to win this. I don't think they have weaknesses. Just pure coincidence John Andretti's leading this right now. I don't have any intention on like fixing these races and making the actual winners better than the other cars or whatever like that. And whoever's leading this race right now, like I said earlier, that's just putting a blindfold on, throwing a dart at the wall. Holly Dallenbach giving us a good shove, aerodynamically speaking. Perfect storm here for Andretti. We need somebody fast behind us, pushing us. Dallenbach was nice, but we got Ted Musgrave there. And I'm pretty sure that's going to be Gordon behind him. Maybe. We have nothing for Andretti. We got to figure this out. Alright, that top line has something going. It looks like Jeff and I are going to have to work together. I don't know where John Andretti came from, though. Like, this is the first car we've seen all race that's been able to hold the lead like this. And if his car was souped up, he would have been doing this all race long. I don't get it. What I like is Jeff Gordon in the middle up there. 3 wide. Come on. We gotta find this speed somewhere. Maybe these guys took on tires. But I don't think so. We're coming for you, John. 3 to go. Good. Finally, somebody makes a move. But he's going to get Andretti. Yeah. Oh, we got to get to the... Nope. It's like we got to get to turn 3 and get under Andretti. It's not going to happen. This is going to be a big win for him. Might snake into the... That's big. He's already... I mean, he's on the bubble for the playoffs. But even if he doesn't win, this is a really good finish. Come on. Come on, here we go. Feels like we're getting closer to him. But it always feels like that. I mean, Kenny Wallace got up there and passed him with ease. I think this is just a perfect storm of cars in life. And we led earlier this race. I don't know. Let's at least take home second. Our second bridesmaid finish at a restrictor plate track. But we'll take the points. Boy, that sucks we didn't have enough for Andretti at the end. Let's take a look at the results. Yeah, I didn't put the little tick marks on here. I just listed the leaders. Too many leaders. Terry Labonte gets that big finish. We're going to look at the points after all these. Mark Martin and Jeff Gordon stayed on that first page, even though we gained a bunch on Mark Martin. And we're closing the gap on Jeff Gordon now. Ted Musgrave gets a big finish in his playoff push. And you look down at 28th place, Johnny Benson. That's a big hit for him on points. Loy Allen, that might be his best finish of the season. And then finally, we just keep. Oh, look at Ken Schrader, 36. That's not good for him. He's in the top 10 in the points heading to the playoffs. And we've been harping on it all year. Dale Jarrett's bad luck, just brutal. And this is how the points look after Daytona. There's gonna be 8 races remaining now, and we've closed it a little. I mean, we're 12 points back of Gordon now. We're 40 points above Mark Martin, and then Terry Labonte's right there on him. Mark Martin hasn't had a good couple of races here. Earnhardt's just laying there in the cut. And Schrader with a bad finish here. Andretti's actually jumped up a couple spots. Johnny Benson's now 31 below the cut line. It's a weird couple of races here. I think everything is going to even out. I'm going to say, I don't know. And you see Dale Jarrett in 15th. I still think he's getting in. I mean, he has to get some bad finishes now from some guys, but I think he gets in. All right, that's it from Daytona. Our next restrictor plate race is going to be like 3 years from now at Talladega. Race 29, I think. This is race 16. But yeah, coming up we have New Hampshire, Pocono, and Indianapolis. Looking forward to those. I'll see you at New Hampshire. Thanks for watching.